All right, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another exciting edition of the Renatus J.A.M. My name is Jay Stark, and joining me as always, my fearless co-host, who is about to be named, who has not yet been named, who is patiently waiting for his introduction to finish. Go ahead.
Mr. Matt Snyder.
Mr. Matt Snyder. Oh, man, today is a good day. So today is
Juneteenth.
Jinx. Today is Juneteenth. Today is the day that we celebrate when the Constitution.
Well, it was the Emancipation Proclamation, I believe.
The Emancipation Proclamation.
It's when the Constitution finally applied to everybody in this country.
Everybody in the country.
Which is a beautiful thing.
Yes, it is.
So, yeah, it's a big day.
It is a big day. There should be more fireworks on this day.
I agree. I'm sure there will be. It's new, so I'm
there
sure. I would hope that we,
yes,
celebrate all freedom.
Yes, absolutely. So, Mr. Snyder, what else is new and exciting? We didn't even get to the question. We started getting into it.
Hey, gentlemen.
Yeah.
VMix is doing that audio thing again. I apologize.
The audio thing.
Yeah, the clipping thing that it does every once in a while.
All right.
So
for our online crowd, is there a lot of clipping and clicking that you guys are hearing in the feed? I'm curious to know.
It's only in the feed.
Oh, it's only in the feed? Because I was going to say, I don't hear anything.
It's coming across Facebook and YouTube, so we could keep going, and I could just post it. Would you want to?
No,
well, how bad is it? For those that are online with us,
yeah, we ought to.
Is the audio quality bad enough that we should start over?
Yeah, hold on. Well, here, I'll tell you. Let's listen.
Yeah, it's coming across Facebook and YouTube, so we could keep going, and I could just post it.
Sounds fine.
I'm not sure that I.
Oh, if it sounds fine to you, then it must be.
Is your tinnitus coming back? Is that what that is, Aaron?
It sounds terrible to me, but if it sounds okay online, let's keep going.
Yeah, for anybody who's online with this, if you guys can hear any clicking, clipping, any kind of weird audio artifacts that are coming through, let us know. We want to know. And we will have a poll later in the call because our featured guest today has some really weird perspectives that we need your help with. So that's going to be coming up in just a little bit. So be prepared to enter in your comments, your information, your thoughts and questions because it's coming up here in just a second. But back to the question at hand.
Mm-hmm.
What is new and exciting?
Well, we've got Jason Andrus coming up in studio here.
Really?
Teaching. He's gonna impart knowledge.
He's going to depart with knowledge.
Well,
when is that happening, Matthew?
June 28th.
June 28th. That day sounds significant to me. Why is that? What was it about that day?
I guess knowledge departed Jay. I don't know. I don't. It's significant because Jason Andrus is coming in and teaching.
Dear Renatus J.A.M. audience, to the Renatus J.A.M. faithful, first of all, we recognize you.
Yes.
Second of all, Matthew is lying to you right now. He knows the significance of this date.
Through my teeth.
He is not telling the truth.
It's my birthday.
It's his birthday.
Yes. Ta-da.
Ta-da. I want to make sure that all of you are aware that June 28th is Matthew's birthday. He's going to be turning 45. He looks pretty good for his age. 45. I would say
so. I look really good for 45.
45.
How do I look for 25?
Not good.
Yeah.
A little rough around the edges, you know what I'm saying?
There was a good decade there. It was pretty rough.
Oh, man. We could get into that one for a while, too. We could take the entire call for that. But we got Jason Andrus coming in on June 28th. He's going to be re-recording. I call it re-recording, although it's really a rebirthing of the due diligence class because our due diligence class currently is designed for our multifamily track. And the due diligence that Jason's going to be doing is going to be a little bit more all-encompassing. In fact, he's going to have segments on short-term rentals, how to do due diligence for long-term rentals, how to do due diligence for fix and flips, for all of those different strategies. And so it's going to include a lot more than just the multifamily perspective. And I'm really, really excited about it.
It's gonna add a lot, in other words, to what we've already got on due diligence. And so I think it's great because it's what everybody needs, because, I mean, we've got a lot of different types of real estate investors that are coming to us for education, that want to do different things.
Yep, absolutely.
So it's a broad spectrum due diligence class.
Broad spectrum due diligence.
Yes.
That should be the full name of the course, broad spectrum due diligence.
That's right.
Wide angle due diligence courses. Anyway,
all right.
So I'm excited for Jason to come in. Look forward to that. If you're anywhere near the Centerville, Utah studio, join us live in studio if you have the AIT education. I know that Angie knows exactly where it's going to land, but I can't remember where exactly it's going to land inside of the AIT. But if you have the Extreme, then you don't even need to worry about that. Just come and join us live in studio. We're going to get started at 9 a.m. on the 28th of June, which is a Friday, and it's going to be a good time. Now, coming up shortly after the June 28th event is July 9th.
It's a big day.
It is a big day.
Yeah.
It's another birthday.
Yes, it is. And it's going to be a big day for Saladio.
Yes. So July 9th is the original birth date of Bob Snyder. And
original?
Well, yeah.
As opposed to the one that's been moved around.
Hey, you are mysterious until you're not.
The fake birthday of.
Oh man, cat's out of the bag now. All right, so
can't put it back in. I think every time he's been
every freaking time. I keep thinking I can't put the toothpaste back in the tube. I can't.
Yeah.
Why would you want to?
I think.
Well, that's a good point.
Every time Richard and Woody have been on the podcast,
Woody ruins it way worse.
They
than
jump
you do,
out.
Though. Like Woody starts like reaching, and he'll go anyway. It doesn't even matter. We're going to have a good time for the rest of the podcast. But on July 9th, it is Bob Snyder's birthday. It is also the birth date of Drive and will now be the official launch date for Saladio. So look forward to many events coming. We've got massive announcements that we're going to be releasing that day. We're going to be talking about the current and future of Saladio, as well as having a party. So if you are anywhere near the Renatus studio, or near any of the event hubs of Saladio around the country, make sure that you plan accordingly. July 9th, it's going to be amazing. And the content that's going to be shared is going to be revolutionary, but the updates are going to be incredible, so stay tuned for that.
Yeah, buddy.
July 9th, join us. I don't even know what time yet. I'm guessing sometime in the evening time. What do you mean?
I'm looking at the feed real quick. Just want to make sure it's coming through okay.
Well, I like it when you get ideas.
I think we should do. It's Bob's birthday. I think we need to do a birthday dinner for Bob for people that are here.
What? We've actually talked about bringing food trucks into the parking lot.
Celebrate Bob for his birthday with it.
What are you doing?
I'm seeing the delay.
Oh my goodness. Dude, you would think this is our first podcast, not number 140.
You would.
What are we, 142 now?
This is the best podcast we've ever done.
I agree. I agree.
What number are we, Aaron? Aaron,
142.
140. We are 142.
It's not every time we get the memo to coordinate our shirt colors. So.
Okay. All right. You're going there already.
Why not?
All right. Here we go.
Yeah. What?
Online poll. Here we go. For all of our viewers right now, I need your input. I need your response. I need you to send in a comment right now. Okay, are you ready for this? Aaron, go full screen me here real quick.
Oh, great. What do we need to?
I'm just going to ask. Everybody on the line. What?
That looks like that color.
Shh. I'm not tainting the pool here.
That's blue.
What? Stop. He's zooming in.
We won.
What? No, stop. Hang on. You haven't even let me get to the question yet. What color is my shirt? What color is the shirt?
I
because
just need to put something in the chat.
no,
box
no,
real
no, no,
quick.
no! Stop that! Stop. Do not taint the water here.
Because that's blue.
All right.
Yeah, well, over my right
Okay, what
shoulder
color is Jay's
blue.
shirt?
What
Everybody-
color shirt?
What color
is this shirt right here?
Now, there are going to be some people that say it's actually not a color.
No.
It's
All
not
right.
a color in the color wheel.
Well, so, all right. What color is Jay's shirt? For anybody
That's a
who's
simple-
online
that's a
with
simple
us,
question.
Simple.
the
with a
first
simple
the
answer.
first answer is blue. The first one that came through was blue.
I don't buy it.
You know what? I think we do
It
this.
is.
Who said that?
I think we do this. First person that answers it correctly, we will send them a Renatus little like tumbler mug thing. I will
All right,
send it to
so
them.
Do we got one of those?
Richard
First
is gonna,
correct answer. I
What
do.
do we have?
Oh, you do?
I got one. Of course I have one.
All
Richard's
right.
got him.
I got one.
First correct answer. There, but the problem is you can't take a poll and then say there's a wrong answer.
Yes, we can.
Yeah, you can.
No, you cannot.
Yeah.
The answer
He didn't
is
say what
obvious.
the correct answer
All right.
is.
All right. We're gonna go round
Okay,
and
so
round.
if it's a poll, we got to have choices.
Okay.
Is it blue, black, or white? Those are the three options: blue, black, or white.
What about gray?
No.
It's not gray, dude.
Okay.
Blue, black, or white.
not- it's
no,
not
it's
gray.
obviously not white. But let's
And
go.
it's obviously not blue. That only leaves one correct answer in the poll.
No. That's exactly the point. See, everybody in the control room says it looks blue. Everybody.
That's blue.
We know there's 25 people in the control room right now.
No, there's not.
That's 25-0.
Aaron and Angie do not count for 25 people.
I don't even know why we're arguing about this. The content
yeah.
of our podcast.
It's gonna
Oh
be a
man,
great
Our real
podcast.
estate
All right.
stuff is really good, though.
the control
You told me you
room
don't
is
have to be
also
smart to make
colorblind.
money.
Oh my goodness! All right, so
Because none of us teach it. So
okay. Back to the podcast.
Yes.
Welcome back, everybody, to the
Yeah,
Renatus
right.
Jam.
And Earth.
sorry for the short aside that we took there.
we had an argument before the podcast started. We had to settle it.
No, that's not true. We had a demonstration of the truth, and then two people who rebelled against it.
Sure. Revisionist history.
That's not.
On Juneteenth?
Oh my stars!
I can't believe this.
Oh
And the
my
control room is colorblind, so we're right.
Actually,
No, I
for real. Yeah.
We won.
You're
so-
okay.
The
that's
one,
it.
The one
That's
person who
freaking it.
agrees with you is actually
No.
We're all colorblind back here. Everything looks blue to us.
He. No, see what you don't
that's
understand
stupid.
is that. Now I just lost where I was going with this.
My name's Aaron.
Aaron, I know your name, but I was gonna say something about the fact that you guys are. Everybody's wrong. You're coming against an executive here, right?
Mm-hmm.
You guys are like, oh, I'm going to prove to an executive that I'm right, and you're not. And
Or is it the validator?
now the validator doesn't care as much. The executive cares.
It's proof. It's black.
It is not black. This shirt is not black. Everybody who agrees with me that this shirt is not black, put in a comment that say, I agree with Jay.
And if you disagree with Jay and realize it's black, say we're Team Matt and Team Richard.
Look at Richard's shirt. Look at Matt's shirt.
Your
Look at
shirt's
Jay's shirt.
faded, doesn't mean it's not black.
Faded?
You've washed it like 100 times.
Oh
You've been
my
wearing that
stars.
shirt for the last
Oh
5
my
years.
stars. 5
That's
years.
black.
So
It's
I'm
faded.
gonna-
That's what happens when you wash clothes. And I'm glad you washed your clothes. It's one heck of a
Oh my
podcast.
goodness, look at that. He is like zoomed in. Here,
On
let
the
me,
black.
Let me move the mic out of the way. There it is.
I mean,
It's-
it looks gray to me, dude.
It's been faded. He's washed it 50 times.
Faded. It is not. Why are we arguing about
Your
this?
beard is
still?
gray.
That
The shirt
That's
is black.
almost
Sure.
the gray. The
Yeah.
beard's almost white.
the beard is almost white. It's more salt than pepper anymore.
Yeah.
You know we're gonna win an Emmy with this podcast, right?
Yeah, this one's going
This
up.
is brilliant.
This is some
Whatever.
brilliant stuff.
We're gonna win a Tony Award for this one.
We
We got the Dundies.
We could get a Dundee.
We got the Dundee.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, we
The
could
yogurt
do
lid, or is that's the different Olympic. contest they do in the office. Anyways, let's back
All right,
to.
let's move on. Let's move on
what
here.
we're talking about here.
So last night, my son comes to me and he says, "Dad, can I invite a couple of friends over?"
Mm-hmm.
And I say, "Sure, why not?" I said, "You guys want some food?" And he goes, "Yeah, I would love some." So 7 pizzas later, and another $150 worth of drinks and everything that I got from Walmart gone. His friends, the starting O and D line from the freaking varsity football team.
Yeah, that'll do it.
Just be grateful you don't have a pool, because then the whole team shows up.
Oh, there you go.
Richard speaks from experience.
We busted out. So I've got one of those 9 square things.
Yeah.
And we busted that out, and those guys were out there just having a good old time.
Well, good. It sounds like it was a fun night.
It was a fun night. They ate me out of house and home, and then it got even worse. I'll have to tell you offline what happened with the rest of the story, because it's pretty traumatic. But nobody died. Everybody went home okay. So anyway.
All right.
So all right, we went through July 9th. No, we didn't. Yeah, we did. We talked about July 9th.
We
talked
got
about
the Leaders Retreat coming up.
I will just mention that right now on our schedule is a September 27th recording date for Renatus. We're not releasing much more information yet.
Wow.
We're not talking about it. We're not talking about Bruno,
Okay.
but on September 27th. Okay. So, all right. We might as well just introduce our featured guest, who is completely unknown to this crowd.
Yep.
Nobody knows who we're going to have on. Complete surprise. But we are bringing out truly a good friend of myself and Matt and of the Renatus J.A.M. He is a supporter of the home team through and through. He has been a part of, been adjacent to every single decision that's been made inside of Renatus from the very beginning. He's been a FAB member, which was a Founders Advisory Board member. He's been a PAC member for the entire tenure of the PAC, and has been a market leader. He has actually raised more leaders that have attained leadership positions inside of Renatus than any other leader that I'm aware of. So he truly is a leader of leaders, as well as an example of what servant leadership truly looks like in a community, and is committed his time, energy, and talents to truly building up the people that are around him, regardless of whether they're in his organization or somebody else's. Doesn't even matter. He is an example to me of an effective father and communicator. Anyway, welcome out to our call, Mr. Richard Stock.
Well, thank you. It's a pleasure to be here.
In a black shirt.
In a black shirt, just like Jay's.
Jay's is not a black... So, what do you look at? No,
They agree with us online.
What's that?
They agree with us online.
They do not agree with
Black.
you online. They disagree with you. Everybody agrees with Jay online. It's why it's called the Renatus J.A.M.
Squirrel.
So here's I'm kind of curious. You've obviously been around Renatus for a very long time. You've been around Saladio now since its inception. You've known Bob for longer than both. And I'm just curious, what is it about Renatus? Why do you stay?
Man.
Because you've gone through some ups and downs, right?
No, we've gone through some serious ups and downs. That is a really good question, and there's multiple directions it can go. I mean, number one, through the process. Oh my goodness! Can you come in here really fast? What color's his?
Oh my gosh!
What color's his sweatshirt?
Oh my god!
Black. The memo of black.
It is black.
I think that's what we gotta do every time I come on. See, this is why I love Renatus.
Yeah, we can play that song.
Yeah, we can play all sorts of songs. We can play all sorts of games. And here's the best thing. We coordinate without knowing, because we understand each other so well. Aaron,
wearing
thank you
black
for the black sweatshirt, my friend.
Oh
Love you,
gosh.
brother. No, it's honestly, seriously, what we just went through is one of the many reasons I love Renatus. I love Renatus for a lot of reasons. Number one, it's because of Bob. And what I mean because of Bob, it's through his leadership. It is through what he has taught me, because I have had the ups, the downs, the highs, the lows. I mean, even when, I mean, it's crazy. Last time we went back to, last time we were in Dominican Republic, you know, I let my ego kind of get out of control. And when we went to Dominican Republic, I was humbled. I mean, I talked about it on stage. It's a position that never wanted to be in. And, you know, I was put on probation, you know, for 90 days because of the attitude that I had. And it was because of Bob's love. And it was because of Bob's recommitment to me that during those 90 days, I had to do a lot of soul searching. But it was through that process, I honestly believe I became a better person, a better husband, a better father, a better neighbor. I became a lot less judgmental in the way I did things. And inside, it allowed me to find more of who I was. And during that process, I remember Woody and I, we were out on, you know, a side-by-side, and we got up to the top of this hill, and we started talking, and he's like, you know, Richard, here's the thing. I love you, and I'm saying this as a friend. And he looked me in the eyes, and he said, right now, you suck being around. And that's what a true friend was to me. And that's what a true friend is. Woody told me that. Bob told me that in kind of a little different language, you know. But that's why I'm still here, because when I needed things the most, Bob was there. There's no other place, you know, and grateful. I mean, yeah, during that time, I lost a bunch of money. Who cares? And now I don't ever want to do it again. But what I learned during that time was who I really become. And there's no other place that I could go where I could do the things that we do. Yes, to be able to make the money that we're able to make, working the hours that we work. But I can't think of another company where I would become a better person than Renatus and Saladio, and the growth that happens here. It's more than just money. And I think when people realize all money is black and green ink on a white piece of paper, it's nice. Money makes things easier, but it's who I've become in the process. It honestly, it scares me. What if that was gone? Would I grow as much? Would I go and become that person? I mean, I'll just give, and everybody knows I love my boy, but it's crazy because Caleb called me this morning. He's like, Dad, he's like, I forgot, because yesterday it was his birthday, and I was horrible. I posted it and then forgot to hit post on for my son's birthday. That's how horrible I was as a father yesterday.
Modern day problem.
Right? If that's the worst of his problems, he's got to.
No, that was just yesterday. That was one of my worst problems yesterday.
Okay.
But he called me up this morning. He's like, Dad, I forgot I'm supposed to do the leadership training today. He's like, what do we do? And he's like, I want to do that controllable versus the non-controllable. Yeah. This is something we learned from Riley Jensen, sports psychologist. And I know that's simple. And some people are like, well, what's the big deal about that? If it wasn't for Renatus, we wouldn't have had that opportunity. And allowing him, passing these things down to my kids, allowing them to see the leadership roles they're taking because of Bob, what Bob has taught through his humility, through his love, through his unselfishness, through being the example who he is. And that's why, you know, it's why I'm still here today, because if I didn't understand that, I didn't understand the growth, I wouldn't be. If this was a regular W-2 job, I would have been gone a long time ago.
Yeah.
But it's because of what it is, and because of those relationships, and, you know, having you guys around here, and that's why I'm still here. It's the people and Bob and what he's done.
Yeah. You know, that's a beautiful answer, and I really appreciate you being so open and honest about everything. I wasn't even going to bring up any of that history, but you know, I love that you recognize it now as an opportunity for growth. and look back and are looking back with a sense of gratitude rather than a sense of regret or anger or any of those things. So I really appreciate that. I will never forget being in that room at that time. That was rough.
It didn't happen to me. It happened for me.
Oh, I love that.
And that's just the way it is.
Yeah. Yeah, that's amazing. I know that through that process, I got to watch as you grew, and as you learned, and as you continued to, you never backed down from the challenge. You never, you always took ownership of your situation and didn't blame anyone else. And I have so much respect for you because of situations like that. And yeah, I would love for you to delve a little bit into some of the information you were just talking about with the controllables and the uncontrollables, because I feel like that's such a valuable perspective that we need to latch onto in this life to remain focused on the controllables and to let go of those uncontrollables.
You know, I think, and we can even look at this from a very internal, external, right? With what we've learned through Saladia, with what we've learned through Drive. The whole external, we know those are the things we can't control, right?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And that's what the controllables are. We can't control what Washington does. We can't control, you know, the overall macro economy. We can't control the weather. We can't control if somebody shows up. We can't control if they don't show up for a follow-up for a presentation. We can't control what other people say about us. We can't control all of that stuff.
Right.
But isn't that what the majority of people worry about? That's
desperately
what they
trying
argue
to do.
about.
Yeah.
But what can we control? Can we control the amount of sleep we get? Yeah. Or when we go to bed, when we wake up? Can we control what we eat? Can we control the time we spend building the business? Can we control how many people we reach out to each day? Can we control how many invites we get, you know, that we put out each day? We can't control how many people say yes, but we can control how many people we invite.
Yeah.
And so when we look at those things that we can control, that is the best part. Then it doesn't matter if we're working a full-time job and a part-time job and now we got this on the side. If we can go in and say, hey, I got 45 minutes today. I got 30 minutes today to build Renatus. Yeah. I got my lunch break and I got my afternoon break. That's the 45 minutes I have to build today. If I can go in with the mindset, I got 45 minutes and I got to call 10 people. Now, what happens if you get to person number 5, you have an incredible conversation and they come down? That's fine.
Then
right?
you invested the 45 minutes calling
people.
But
we still invested that time. Yeah. And so when we look at all of the uncontrollables, that's what everybody worries about. You know, what about politics? What about this? What about this? Like, that crap doesn't matter. Right. What matters is what I can do to take control of my future. I can control what I do this week in my business. I can control the personal development. I can control, and here's a big one that I think a lot of people get caught up in, is the environment. What environment do I put myself in? That's one of the reasons, one of the many, many reasons I'm still here at Renatus. It's an environment of growth. It's an environment of being able to say, you know, I mean, how long have I known Bob? I've known Bob 17 years. I don't think I've ever heard Bob swear. I've heard him get upset with me once, and that was not a fun experience, you know. But, like, who has Bob been?
Right.
Those are the qualities I try to control. I can control if I'm happy. I can control if I smile towards other people. I can control if I say hi to people. And when we focus on that, man, this business gets so much easier.
So I love all of that. I love how you're really bringing to light the things that tend to really worry us the most are the things that we absolutely have no control over.
Yes.
So would you say that there is, through all of your experience with Renatus and now with Saladio, with all of the people that you've worked with, especially with those individuals who have aspired to and become leaders, is there one uncontrollable that a lot of people tend to give too much time and energy to? And on the flip side, is there one thing that they can control that they weren't giving enough time or energy to?
I think too many people worry about what other people think. What's my neighbor going to think? What's my mom going to think? What's my dad going to think? What's my sister? And it's blunt, but who cares? Who cares? They aren't paying your bills. They aren't the ones showing up. They aren't the ones having to do anything.
Right.
We spend so much time worrying about what other people think. That's the number one thing that hurts society. That is a very external view when we go and say, I can't control what other people think, but I can control what I do. And so I think that's the number one thing that stops people from having success. Every master was once a disaster, right?
Yeah.
We have to be willing to suck before we can become great. We have to be bad as we go through the 4 stages of learning to become really, really good at what we do. So I'd say that's the number one thing that I think too many people worry about, because they're going to be judged. You're going to be judged either way.
I love that.
I think, and then the reverse of that, what's the second part of the question you asked?
Is what are the things that we can control that we're not giving enough energy to?
We can control who we talk to.
That was not what I was expecting you to say.
We can control the action that we take.
Yeah.
That is that is the only thing we can control, is the action we take. I can't worry about what these other people are going to think, but I can control what I do. And, I know when I was, with Bob one time, I just said, he was talking to me, my world looked like, when we first started, I had all the nice cars, had all these things. And he just said, Richard, how many people within 2 blocks of where you live, how many of them are about to go into bankruptcy? Yeah. How many of them are to lose everything? He said, why don't you just open your mouth and go talk to them? You could be that person that they come and they thank to say, hey, you changed everything for me. You changed my finances. You gave me hope. You saved my marriage. Like, that's what we can control. And I think for me, that is the key. No one else is paying your bills. And it's easier to say than do. Why do you care what the heck they think?
That's so fascinating.
And if we go internal, we don't
Right.
care what they think.
Right. And it sounds a little hard, right? The way that you say it. Oh yeah, I don't care what you think. It's more along the lines of what other people think doesn't take any of your time or energy away from you. Because I know, like, my wife's calling me in the middle of a podcast.
Let me see it.
Are you?
Joe's Bar and Grill, you slap them, we wrap
Oh
'em.
my goodness! She's probably on my headset.
A lady's not answering.
You gotta
I don't know how-
swipe.
Hey, what's up?
She
She can't hear me.
headset.
Hold
There you go.
on. Hello?
Oh my
Hey,
goodness!
hey, my lady, can you say hi to Renatus World on the J.A.M podcast with a special guest, Richard?
No.
Well, you just did. Thank you very much. We will call you back later. Thank you for calling, and you have a wonderful day,
gosh.
and happy late birthday, Whitney. We love you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. Hey, call your wife.
Yeah, thank you for that.
I'm so glad we don't have an HR department.
Oh,
you know how much trouble I would just get in.
All right.
I said that as a WT job. Anyway.
So here's the deal. When you were just talking about the uncontrollable
Yeah.
and worrying about what other people think, it makes me go, how many decisions in our lives do we make based on the false perception of assuming what somebody else is going to say, do, or think, right? Whether it's another car driving down the highway. Have you ever cut off a car on the highway? Ever?
I did today.
Not once.
I can be honest.
Okay, so you did today. Did you do it with malice or with the intent to irritate the person behind you?
No.
Not at all. So when a guy cuts you off, how many times have you taken that personally and you think, that guy, he's trying to prove a point. He's trying to irritate me. That guy could not care less about you.
Well, and here's the thing. what's going on in their life.
Right.
And this is one of the things that, and it sounds basic, but I learned. Did that individual just find out their son or daughter was just taken to the emergency room?
Right.
Did they just get laid off? Did they just get put, another warning where they written up? We don't know what's going through in their life. So we're safe, they're safe. What does it matter?
Yeah.
And when we can look at things like that, life becomes so much simpler.
Yeah. We're all trying to get from point A to point B. None of us intend to, irritate. Well, I should say most people don't intend to irritate anyone in the way. But yeah, we tend to take things personally. But I love that perspective of letting go of worrying about the perception of others. Because you've been married for how long?
Uh-oh. This will be 19 years.
19 years.
18 and a half years.
I've been married for 21 years. You've been married for how long?
14.
14.
Almost.
So, yeah. Yes. And my wife just talked to Richard live on the air with us. So
she said hi, by the way.
Thank you for that. I'm. How many times in both of from your perspectives, have you absolutely known what your wife was thinking, only to find out you were completely wrong?
A day,
regularly,
every day. How often each day?
The person that we know best, our spouse. We still get it wrong.
Oh, yeah.
So how many times do we get it wrong for people we don't even know? We answer the question for them without ever giving them a chance to even consider it.
Totally.
I love what you talked about, controlling the controllables, controlling who you talk to, controlling how you show up, controlling the way that you present yourself.
How many ads we put out? That's what we can control. The other stuff doesn't matter.
Yeah. Yes. We could take the rest of our time together and just explore that concept. Because
it's fascinating.
And it's deep.
Because then it goes here. Is that a belief?
Oh, yes.
Or is that a truth?
Oh.
Right?
Yes.
I mean, that is the cool when I honestly believe we complicate things way too much.
Yeah.
I don't think God sent us here to be like, I cannot wait to watch Richard struggle his whole life. I don't think, or any of us, I don't think we were ever sent down to do that.
I know Aaron's probably turning over in his grave right
probably
now.
Yes, okay. But I think one of those things is, let's go down, let's see how much they can grow. Let's go down and see what they can do.
Yeah.
And all those beliefs we have, it could be right.
Right.
But it also could become a truth. Well, my best friend, they would never be interested in Renatus. Is that a belief or a truth?
Right.
They won't know till they come down. They won't know till they're shown. I mean, we could have that was one of the most, it's crazy. That was one of the most powerful things what he taught me when I was going through the hard time. Richard, is that a belief or is that a truth? If it's a belief, stop worrying about it. 95% of things we worry about never come to pass anyway. Just focus on the truth.
Yeah. I love that. And I love the perspective of thinking about this life as an opportunity to progress, right? We know that all of the wonderful things that we can create in this world, physically or whatever, are great. However, what really sticks with us are the experiences that we have and the knowledge that we gain in this life. I love how you bring it back to belief versus knowledge, because there are so many times that we believe something and we might even believe we know something only to find it's completely incorrect. Think about the last time that you heard something go thump in the night, right? You are scared because it sounds like somebody's breaking in your house, only to flip on the lights and see that it's a raccoon going through your trash can. All fear is dispelled, right? Unless you're afraid of raccoons, which why would you be?
Some people are.
Trash pandas, right?
Yeah.
So the whole idea, though, is that there are so many situations that are that noise in the night that all we have to do is just remove our belief and only act in our knowledge, and all of a sudden things we start feeling better, right? We remove that anxiety from our lives and start to focus on those things we can actually control. And then when we do, we start to create the kinds of results that we've been waiting for all along. But I love how you brought it back from internal and external as well. Talking about that the things you can't control are all external to you. The things you can control are all internal to you. Mm-hmm. And I just thought, wow, that's really profound. I've never quite thought about it that way before because I've thought about external being, somebody telling me I'm smart and pretty. Somebody telling me, you know what I mean? That's an external validation. Mm-hmm. I didn't really think that that's not something I can control, even though it's not. And I've always thought, external validation, if you're relying on somebody outside of yourself to make you feel good, you'll be waiting a very long time. Because
you'll be miserable.
It's a miserable life, yeah.
Nobody focuses on you the way you do. So I love the way that you brought that back as well. Have you found any kind of like a process or a habit that you employ anytime that you find yourself being external or worrying about those uncontrollables? Because it still happens, right?
Every day.
Yeah.
I mean, what I would do is for me, I had to realize my natural tendencies with the habits I had. So I'd naturally go back to the habits I'd developed over the years. Well, if this happens, then is what's going to happen, and that's automatically external, right? Where when I'm able now, what I'm able to do with it is I look and say, okay, why did I just get offended? How did it offend me? And now I'm going to reassess, realign, and re-engage, right?
That's what I was about to say.
Going back to those three things. Why did that just take me off? How would I react? How can I react? And then I have tried to go from a very subconscious, where it was habit, to consciously trying to make a better, different decision.
Yeah.
Right? Because I want to change some of those old habits that could be very damaging to new habits that can open up new relationships. And so when I go external, I'm like, okay, why am I going external? What can I do to fix that externalness to go internal? Because so many times we'll let one thing take us out the whole day, where one little thing should take us out for a couple minutes. Well, you know what? Maybe they're having a bad day. They said it, but their actions over the last 2 years have spoken completely different, right?
Right.
So they're having a bad day, not a problem. Let's just move forward.
Right.
And so I've had to try to consciously stop. What's my bad habit? Let's switch that. Let's turn it into a good habit and go internal. You can do the cards. Now with Sladio, we got Drive AI. Boom. Throw it in Drive AI. How can I go internal? It's going to give us a list of things to go internal. Go straight internal. Stop worrying about that. That's going to derail us for a whole day. Ruin our day off of one stupid little thing. Go internal. Let's go change lives.
I love that. Because if you take the amount of time in our lives that something negative happens, whether it's somebody says something, a situation occurs, whether it's an accident of some sort or whatever it is, if you take those moments, they can be boiled down to a fraction of a percent of our lives, right? Mm-hmm. But then how much of our lives do we commit to stewing on that?
Yeah.
What?
Well, no, like you're talking and I'm reminded of, what's today? Wednesday. One of Caleb's friends came over on Monday, got a D1 offer. So he just graduated, D1 offer, and a couple things happened like 90 days ago. And it was a stupid little thing he forgot to do. He's been carrying this weight with him because one of the coaches talked to him, and he's a validator. One of his coaches talked to him in a way he didn't necessarily like. The last 90 days, he's been carrying this weight. I don't even know if I show up. I don't even know if the coaches like me. I don't even know this. I must suck. And he has all this negativity going through his mind. And it was cool because Caleb was like, you got to come talk to my dad. Sat down, did his drive. He is a validator executive. We sat down and said, what's a belief? What's the truth? We went through that exercise with him. He called his coaches on Tuesday, and they're like, how long have you been carrying that weight? Because none of that's true.
Right.
It has literally, the last 90 days, almost destroyed this kid.
Wow.
Off of something that wasn't even true. The coaches are like, is that why? He's like, yeah. He's like, they're like, why didn't you just talk to us about this 90 days ago? You could have had a better last 90 days. Like, It's literally like, it has destroyed him. He can't sleep. He can't eat. Like, all these things, his parents are taking him to doctor. And I'm like, dude, is that belief or a truth? He's like, well, it's a truth. I'm like, how do you know? I said, call the coaches and ask them. He told us back Tuesday. It's like, coaches weren't even mad. I'm like, exactly.
Yeah.
Stop worrying about it and just go. You're a bad dude when you're on the field. Just go be that bad dude on the field and still be the kind, gentle giant you are off the field.
Yeah.
90 days he's been carrying it with him. And because of that stress, he's done some really stupid things that, like, almost literally could have destroyed the kid if he kept on going down.
Oh, man.
Knowing the difference between belief and truth, now he saw through Drive AI, here's how I can have internal confidence. The kid showed up yesterday at the house, completely different kid than he was on Monday.
Wow.
I believe it.
Because
I've
one
seen
instance
this.
has destroyed him.
I've seen this. I've seen this with many different people, and I've experienced it myself. I'm sure we all have at some point in some degree, right? Like where you just, you can't just sit there and stew on that, right? Like it'll spin and spin and spin in your head, and it will destroy you.
Yeah. And it literally almost destroyed this kid in 90 days. Yep. 18 years old.
Yeah.
You know, that process, the reassess, realign, reengage, being able to ask yourself those questions, very direct questions, and then answer them as unemotionally as possible, right? Did you do the thing that you were talking about? Did you, intentionally do this, that, or the other? And when you really start to reassess, it's so interesting because I had this experience not long ago where I was bogged down with a situation that happened here, and no one had even said anything to me. I heard from a person who said a thing, and I was completely bogged down to the point where it was affecting my relationship with my wife, with my kids, even just my feeling internal with my own faith.
Your confidence.
Yes, my confidence, everything. Shot. And so Woody actually pulled me aside and he said, hey, I think you and I should have a conversation. And I'm like, okay. And so I called him and he asked me those questions. And as I was able to answer those questions honestly and saying, yeah, you know what, that was a belief. This is what I know. Mm-hmm. This is what I know. This is what I know. And I sat there and I was just blown away. I was like, man, I feel like a weight has been lifted off my shoulders right now. Yeah. I feel like I'm so much lighter. The guilt is gone. The frustration, the offense is gone. And now I can be absolutely happy about the situation that happened. Mm-hmm. I can look at it the same way that you look at some of the hard situations that came about in your life and go, I'm grateful for that now because of who I've become because of it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And here's the crazy thing. How much money could we lose if we stay in that external state of doubting ourselves?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, what would happen if Woody didn't sit down and stop? What if you would, because you would have probably kept that.
Yeah.
For a long time. How much emotional relationship energy could that have caused?
Yeah.
How would you have shown up differently when AJ brings over all the kids' friends yesterday? You'd be like, I gotta go buy more pizza. That just cost me an extra $3. You could be like in a very external, right?
Yes,
because now we're short-tempered in what we do. What does that do for AJ? What does that do for his friends? What's the judgment that comes back? And when we realize we're wasting so much time, what if that's that person who needed what Renatus had and we're in the wrong spot and it hurts them? Or what we have with Saladio. It's not just, it's the relationship capital, but when we look at that relationship capital and we're willing to let that go, we show up different in our lives And now, what is it about that one contact we just met? I went to lunch today with an awesome kid. Haven't seen the kid since 1997, maybe 98. Last time I saw this kid. Sat down today, it's like everything was the same as clear back in 1997. And because I was able to go internal on some stuff, could have just opened up huge possibilities going in, because it was funny because the dude's a salesman. He's like, no, I want to hear about you. And I'm like, no, I want to hear about you. Like, it was like neither one of us want to talk about ourselves. Right?
That's funny.
And now he's like, dude, you're coming to the house. We're doing a barbecue. Bring your family. My mom will be there. My brother will be there. He's like, my mom will yell my name quite a few times, just so it's like old times, like she's mad at me when I used to go do stupid stuff with my friends. And it's like, and nothing has changed.
Yeah.
But now he's like, dude, I see what you're doing. I need to know.
Yeah.
And if I would have been external going into that, I would have been like, dude's not even interested in what I have. I'm just trying.
Yep.
And we'll go internal. And I think that's one thing we've missed on talking a lot about lately. What is our relationship capital and what is it worth?
Oh, man.
I mean, that's huge relationship capital. But if we're so bitter by that one little thing, it can literally cost us tens, hundreds of millions of dollars over a lifetime. And the emotional relationship with our kids and our spouse or significant other, it's not worth it.
You know, I was just thinking about, as you said, you know, if you were in that external state and then you walked into a room and there was somebody who needed you at that time and you were not available to them because of you being external. And, you know, I'm not even thinking so much about money. I'm just thinking about people, right? Mm-hmm. That's one thing that I love when Woody talks about, I come to every table full so that I can give and serve other people. It's like, if we consider that 50% of the people that we meet on a daily basis are going through a critical life situation, because we are, right? Half of us are in some sort of state of crisis.
Yep.
Then if we show up and are ready to serve and help that person, what kind of impact can we make in their lives? How much can we inspire, help, and serve them to finding their way through that? Mm-hmm. I know like Drive has helped me to go through life's obstacles quicker. It's given me a shortcut to getting through that emotional mire that I seem to get bogged down in so often. And so I love the way that you're talking about it, because it's just like, when you get on the other side of those obstacles, that's when you are prepared to serve and help other people to get through it quicker as well.
What does Woody say? We have 100% success rate of what?
Oh, how does he say it? Of missing every shot you don't take.
No, we have 100%. What was it? Oh my gosh. 100% success rate of overcoming difficult things.
Oh, yes.
Oh, if you're alive? Is that what you mean?
Yes.
Like, in our life, we have 100% success rate of overcoming difficult things.
Yeah.
And, you know, as you're talking about that, some things that seem just huge for other people, we're like, you're seriously worried about that?
Right.
Right? But the things that are huge to us are like nothing to other people.
Right.
And that's where when we go in and we're full and we're happy ourselves, that relationship capital can, because you never know what that one smile, that one hello can mean to somebody and what that relationship can bring. I never knew, and this is not because of me, please understand that, I never knew 18 years ago when Kendall sat down next to Woody and Woody's reading his own book, right, as they were giving blood. And then, like, I started coaching with Woody first. I never knew 18 years ago we would be where we're at today.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
What if I would have, and honestly, like, I think about this a lot. What if I would have been, what, you know, Woody, you know, like, the time he made me upset, what if I would have let that one instance affect me the rest of my life? We wouldn't even have Drive, Saladio, if I would have done that. Now, I'm not saying it's because of me. If I would have burnt that relationship capital, Bob and Woody never would have probably met.
Right.
Or met on completely different terms than they met.
Yeah.
Right?
Uh-huh.
How different would Renatus, not even Saladio, what has the impact of drive made in Renatus? And I'm not talking Saladio, just like in the lives with the employees, with how things are run, with how we interact now with our spouses, our kids. You probably react to your spouse as it gets different because of it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
But what if I would have done something to burn that bridge? And I'm not, guys, please understand, this isn't about, I haven't done anything.
No, this is about consequences, though.
I connected two people 13 years ago. We never knew Bob and Woody would become the great friends that they are now. I never knew that 13 years ago. They're the ones that have done it. But because that relationship capital, bringing people together, guys, people you meet today, 13 years ago, could literally be that person to give you 7 figures in the bank account.
Yeah.
Why waste so much time on little things that mean nothing? Get rid of it, go internal, show up full, and it's amazing at what happens. And by far, guys, I am not perfect. I fail at it every day, but I try to get better every single day.
That's amazing. That's amazing. I feel grateful. Grateful for knowing what drive is, grateful for the opportunity to be more internal. You know, I'm just every day I just feel so thankful that I have the ability to understand those things and have the opportunity to now share those with other people.
Mm-hmm.
So incredible. And it's been such a huge blessing in my life. So I do want to recognize Mr. Hiller did post a comment here that said Richard always has such great advice and guidance. I absolutely agree. If he weren't colorblind, he'd almost be the full package.
Hey, Nick, can you type in black?
Don't do that. Don't do that.
We love Nick. I love Nick's Facebook post, by the way, this last weekend. Taking his kids. I mean,
taking his kids to those, go look at the Cedar Point houses.
Taking his kids to go do it. I mean,
yeah.
I mean, I think this is a great thing. And now I don't, like you and Woody, I think we need to go back over because majority of the people don't remember relationship capital.
Right.
Mental capital equals, relationship capital, mental capital equals, it's not financial capital.
It's,
you know what I mean though,
yeah,
right?
I do.
Like, I think we need to go back over that because relationship capital is everything. This is where Bob taught me in the very beginning, the Super 7. You go find 7 people, you're never going to go hungry again.
Yeah.
We do that same thing in Renatus. I mean, we never know who has that one connection to bring tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of people into Sladio. One connection. Sometimes from the least suspecting people you'd ever think of.
Yeah. Yep, I completely agree. That's incredible. But, Mr. Hiller, I am curious if you...
Black.
It's not black. You know, you're such a phenomenal example of being internal, of being able to recognize your faults and flaws and your opportunity for improvement. I hope that you can recognize now this opportunity to improve. My shirt is not black.
It's been washed 50 times.
Oh,
it's
my
faded
gosh.
a little.
It's funny. We started the call and you were saying it had been washed 100 times. He has not responded yet.
Nick, it's simple.
No.
Simple.
It's not black. So.
It's beautiful.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Now that right there is truth versus belief.
That's right. That's right.
I got to find application.
Undeniable. What?
You got black shirt.
I got a black shirt on.
Those shorts are gray.
Yeah, they
Yeah,
are.
I don't disagree with any of the truth that you are saying, but when you start talking, spewing your beliefs,
it gets me in trouble.
I love it. Aaron just said we can all work on being internal the more we watch and apply the drive videos. Absolutely. Could not agree more. Also, take advantage of the Monday Mastermind calls. I know that I'm a little bit biased, but those are phenomenal calls packed with amazing information.
Just look at Monday.
They crush.
So good.
They crush.
It was so good.
Yeah.
The other thing is utilize the Drive AI. I love how you talked about how your son's friend came over. You were able to walk through what his drive was and then type into the AI and say, hey, how can I help in him be more internal? How can I help him to differentiate truth and belief? And I love that. That was phenomenal.
Yeah, it's awesome. And then see, within 24 hours, so much of that lifted off his shoulders.
Yeah. And that's the beautiful part about Drive. That's because it's hard to explain to somebody who hasn't had the opportunity to experience it.
Right.
But once they experience it, it changes everything. It just starts to open up your eyes to a whole new level of thinking and understanding about self and motivation.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
People need to do it.
Absolutely.
Go do it.
Absolutely. It's really funny, Mr. Stock. I had an entire page worth of questions. I did not ask one question on this page.
When you're in the presence of greatness, it's hard. And we got Matt right
Oh,
here.
I know.
okay.
I mean,
Look at
we
this
got
guy.
Matt right here.
We are just basking in his aura, his glow, and
It's
the
beautiful.
conversation follows.
Truth, people.
there's a beautiful person right there.
He is. Absolutely.
I
Thank
just
you,
want to know why
gentlemen.
Matt doesn't talk more during the podcast.
Thank you, gentlemen. I was just soaking it in. You guys, first of all, both of you, I think, have a lot more experience with Drive than I do. I was learning. I was listening. This was good.
Right on.
Be internal.
Mr. Hiller, his response was, Richard likes to talk.
Nicholas, we love you.
It's not black. All right. We're...
I think there's a song about that.
It's not black?
No. Isn't it like Made in Black? What is it? AC/DC?
Back
Back
in
in
black.
Black. Back in black.
That should be our theme song next time we come out.
No, we don't want to get any kind of copyright infringement.
It's our own little internal selves.
I love it. He starts playing he's like, and we're done. You know what? Thanks for being with us. This has been an awesome opportunity to explore.
Hey, do you know what, though? I want to say one thing, though.
What's that?
So grateful for Bob.
Oh, yes.
So grateful for
ditto
Bob,
that.
what he has done, because if Bob thought he knew everything, we wouldn't have what we have.
Oh, amen to
And
that.
that's why, like, going back to your original question, we keep on going, we keep on learning. Bob's internal enough to say, let's figure it out, help people go out and do it. So the only reason we have Woody is because of Bob.
Yes.
It's not because of me. It's not because of Kendall. It's because of Bob.
Yeah.
And we love him and appreciate him for it.
I second that full-heartedly. I also want to tell Aaron and Nicholas that I love you both because you're both right, and that just proves that Richard's wrong. So thanks again. Thank you, everybody, for being with us. Don't forget, the reason why Renatus rocks is because of the people who are associated with us, and that includes every single one of you. We will be back next Wednesday at the same time in the same place. Thanks, everybody. Have a great week. Renatus rocks.